What was I gonna do? I ain't had nowhere to stay, so I lived in the car. I had $35. And I said, come on, God, man. I used to spend the night in hotel parking lots. What was I gonna do? I ain't had nowhere to stay, so I lived in the car. I had $35. And I said, come on, God, man, I've been trying to make this dream come true. You done left me out here like this. And I was crying so hard that he just said, I didn't like hear a voice or nothing, but he spoke to me, and however he said, if you get up, I'm gonna take you places you ain't never been. Now I was finna quit. So I said, skip it. I'm gonna quit anyway. So I got in my car, I went to a payphone, and I was gonna call my dad. You remember back in the day where you could punch in a code and call your answering machine and get your messages? So I called and I punched in the code, and it said, doop. He said, hey Steve, this is Chuck Sutton with Showtime at the Apollo. We saw a tape of you. You're very funny. If you could get here Sunday night, we'd love to put you on television. Call me back, let me know if you can make it. So I hung the phone up, I'm crushed, because my whole dream of being on TV, and I couldn't get to New York. I got $35. How I'm gonna get to New York? I can't make it. So I'm standing there at the phone booth and tears just coming down my face. I said, God, so that must be a sign for me to go home. Cause this it, I ain't even got the money to go to the Apollo. My whole thing, I wanted to be on TV, I couldn't even make the dream come true. This is the most messed up moment. And so I said, man, let me call this dude back and see if he said this Sunday. Because maybe he said next Sunday, and I can hustle up a little bit of money or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but let me just call him back. So I called him back. Steve, this is Chuck Sutton, Showtime at the Apollo. We saw a tape of yours. You're very, very funny. Look, we have an opening Sunday night at Showtime at the Apollo. If you can make it, we'd love to put you on TV. I said, it's this Sunday. Before I hit the button, I heard, doop, you have another message. Now, it wasn't there before. So I punched my code in. I listened to the second message. It said, Steve Harvey, this is Tom Sobel from the Comedy Caravan. This was a Thursday. He said, I have a gig in Jacksonville, Florida on Friday night that pays $150. If you can get there Friday night, you'll make $150. So I called him back and I said, hey Tom, did you get a gig away? He said, no, it's still available. He said, can you get there? I said, I'm in Pensacola, Florida. I'm 3.5 hours away. So I drive to Jacksonville, Florida, and that night I made the 150. The club owner said, man, you funnier than the guy we hired. If you stay tomorrow night, I'm gonna give you another $150. I called Chuck Sutton. I said, hey man, is the gig still available at Showtime at the Apollo? He said, yeah, we got one opening left. I said, I'll be there. So I called Eastern Airlines, who used to be open back then. They had a special for $99 going from Jacksonville, Florida to New York round trip. So I parked my car at the airport. Everything I had was in 2 bags. Got to the Apollo. I said, hey man, I'm here. I got there at 11 o'clock in the morning. He said, you can't stay here because you don't come on to the late show tonight. I said, man, I ain't got nowhere to go. I said, if you just let me stay in this building, man, I ain't gonna move around nothing. I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm in Harlem, I can't go back out here. I got these 2 bags. I got victim wrote all over me, man. So he said, all right, if you go upstairs, don't come down. So he put me in the dressing room on the 6th floor. So that's where all the comedians was. So I stayed up there. I got hungry around 3 o'clock, man. I couldn't take it no more. So I went back downstairs, a dude named Alton Liston. I said, hey man, he said, man, I thought I told you, don't come down them damn steps. I said, hey man, I'm just hungry, man. I said, let me go to that KFC I saw on the corner, just let me get some chicken. I'll come right back. He said, man, if you ain't back in 20 minutes, you ain't getting in this building. So I went, bought me some chicken, came back. So the comedians started coming in the building. They started coming up on the 6th floor. So I meet this guy named D.L. Hughley. I'm sitting there, another guy come in named Dwayne Johnson. Then this other dude walked in named Jamie Foxx. It's 1991, man. They gave everybody the lineup. I was on the last show of the night. I don't go on to 11 at night. I done had this 4 pieces of chicken. I'm starving, man. That chicken done wore off. I'm nervous, man. I'm about to throw up. D.L. Hughley went downstairs. D.L. Hughley got booed off. Dwayne Johnson got booed off. Jamie Foxx went down there and got booed. They booed Jamie, then Jamie started singing. Then he went back to them jokes. So I'm walking down the steps and I see Jamie sitting on the steps. I said, hey man, hang in there. He said, man, that ain't never happened to me before, man. This is crazy. This Jamie Foxx, man, one of the most talented people in all of comedy. And now, you don't even know how nervous I am, man. I can't even, my breathing is shot because these dudes been booed. So I walk out. I had wrote this joke. Mike Tyson had got in a fight in Harlem with this heavyweight named Mitch Green. Mike Tyson had hit the dude in the eye in the store. Now he was on the news, his eye was swollen. So the joke I wrote was, they was interviewing Mitch Green and he was telling everybody what happened, but his eye took over the interview. Crazy, they lost their mind. I got a standing ovation, man. I couldn't believe it. And they paid me. I made $750 for being on TV for one night. I'd never made $750 telling jokes in one night. And so that was my first television appearance. A couple weeks later, Sinbad was the host of the show. He got this job on Different World. And so he quit. And so Mark Curry became the host. And then Mark Curry got hanging with Mr. Cooper, and he quit. And they came to me and said, would you come back to New York and host amateur night for us to just try you out? Oh, ain't no problem. And so I went to New York, I hosted amateur night, and I was killing. But every time we went to commercial break, I was supposed to let the warm-up act take over like Ruben does. But I knew not to let the warm-up act do that because he would change the attitude of the crowd because the Apollo was a wild place. So I stayed out there. I did the warm-up and the hosting. And I created a bond with that audience. And that's how I got on TV. It was my very first TV show. I hosted Showtime at the Apollo. I ended up being the longest running host in the history of Showtime Apollo. I did that show for 8 years. See, in your life, everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you could go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Piece from Steve Harvey. If you missed the first part, that's okay. You got the last part, which is just don't ever give up. That's the bottom line. Tomorrow is still coming if you give up. If you give up, next year is still coming. All the goals and the dreams that you had, they're still, the date that you set is still coming. It's just that you gave up, so you never accomplish it. So I really hope that drove it home for every single one of you. And that is something that I'm very, very big on. If you're a person that you're easy to get shifted and you're easy for things to hurt your feelings and it's kind of all over the place, you guys can start listening to this sort of stuff. It's really gonna help when you understand that people like Steve Harvey used to eat out of a garbage bin, didn't have anywhere to live, used to live in his car, was homeless multiple times, and then he got his big break, right? But didn't even have money to go to his big break in the first place. So when you kind of understand all of that, then you understand that, listen, if I have a goal for Christmas and I give up, Christmas is still coming. And then Christmas is going to come and I'm going to remember I really did give up on the goal, right? You set a goal for next year. Next year is still coming, whether or not you accomplish the goal. The only difference is whether you accomplish it or whether you're close to accomplishing it because you just didn't give up. It's okay to not get to the goal today, but at least you're on your way to get into the goal. So I hope that served everybody. Like I said, good night. Hope you had yourself an amazing day today. Orientation should relatively be very short. And the reason for that is because the website is very, very simple. It's easy to maneuver. It's just that I recognize that there's some people who still have problems trying to figure out where certain things are. So I said, I'm going to fit in the orientation, right? And then at about 8:45, I'll close the Zoom, save this and send it in the group. And then I'll reopen the new Zoom for those persons who we're going to be doing the building session for, right? So this part of it is just basically to walk you through, especially the newer persons. And if you have relatively new persons, or you have people who still, they're not too sure where to find this and find that on their website, send them a quick message, ensure that they're actually on, so that they can get the proper walk through, right? And I will stick with doing this every single Wednesday night. So as you add new persons, you just message them, let them know, hey, you need to be on this every Wednesday night, 8:10. They're gonna get a proper walk through. So you can guide them to log into their videos in the meantime, but ensure that they're on this so they can get a proper walkthrough. It's gonna ease you up as well, and you're not gonna feel stressed trying to walk somebody through anything, right? So that being said, everybody knows by now that you got your website to log into, right? This is our general website. And for anybody who might feel a little lost about that, especially if you're new, gonna go ahead and just send it in the chat. You can go ahead and copy it. Just hold on there. You can go ahead and copy it and save it, right? That's the general website for a company. I'm not gonna use my login because my login has in everything. So I'm gonna use one of my customers login, right? Let's log in. So you already know by now that you're logging into your email with your email address and your password. And regardless of whether you're a business owner or you're a customer, the website is the same. Nothing is different, right? The website is the same regardless of whether you're a customer or you're a business builder, right? So once you've logged in with your correct information, right, your website is now gonna open up and it's gonna look like this, right? So this is your home page. Any new information about the company? This is our big company launch that's coming up. In January. So every information, you're gonna be able to see everything that's happening, anything that's going on. We're gonna be able to see that right there, right? You're also going to be able to view your order history as well. Now, the first thing that people tend to get a little freaked out about is when they view their order history on their front page, they tend to see it's in TT dollars, right? And they're gonna be like, why is it in TT? Why was I charging TT? I didn't do anything in TT. Now, just to put this very simple, what happened is, remember, our company is legally lodged in the USA, right? So what happens is, in the various territories, the company looks for the currency that's the most popular and does the charge for that territory. Now, our biggest group in the Caribbean is actually in Trinidad with Mr. Maxwell, right? And the TT dollar, because of that and the population size, is actually the most popular. It was either between Barbados or Trinidad. So the company decided to go with TT. And like I said, our biggest group is actually in the Caribbean region, is actually in Trinidad. So hence, you'd realize that you were registered under Trinidad and Tobago until the rest of our country is actually loaded in. So everybody in the Caribbean thus far has been lodged under Trinidad, right? So our charge is in TT, but it equates to the same in USD, right? So nothing is different. That's just the charge. And when you do the conversion of US to TT, that's just it. So don't freak out when you see that it's in TT. It's just the popular currency in the Caribbean, and like the other territories, they would have been charged the most popular in those particular territories. So won't let it freak you out because you see that there, right? For those of you who might have been looking for your reward points, we're going to come back to that, right? But on your main page, like I said, this is the first thing you're going to see, and people just see TT and they go a little, nuts, but don't go nuts. It's just that it's the popular currency in our Caribbean region, right? Apparently it's not EC, it's TT, right? And then the other thing you're also going to see, you're going to see your name, you're going to see your ID number. You want to get familiar with your ID number. In the event that you have problems, in the event that something is happening with your website, something is missing,
when you message support, when you email support, the first thing they're gonna ask you for is, what is your ID number, right? So if you're messaging them with a problem, don't wait for them to ask you, what is your ID number? Say your name, this is my company, ID number, so that way they can just go ahead and it avoids the back and forth with them. What's your ID number? And you're trying to figure out what's the ID number, and then you have to send it to them. All of that is time delayed. So your ID number is right here on the front page, right? All of your information is right there on the front page as well. The company's email address is right there on the front page as well. So if you're encountering a problem that you know for a fact is a technical problem or whatever the case is, you can just copy the email address. You don't have to wait on anybody. Just go ahead, make the process very simple, copy the email address, and send them a quick email from the email that you registered with. You don't want to email them from an email that you didn't register with, because then they won't be able to identify you. They're going to check your ID, but then they're going to email you back and say, hey, we're not familiar with this email address, right? So to avoid any delays, you copy the email, use the email address that you used to sign up with, right? And let them know what your company ID is, what the problem is very quickly. And they're going to go ahead. You're going to receive an automatic reply saying, hey, we'll respond to you in 48 hours and 72 hours. And then after that, they'll go ahead and they'll respond and they'll fix the problem. However, sometimes support is overwhelmed. So if you have that a really big problem and you really need it fixed, you can just send me a message and we can work on it from there, right? So that's your home page. Now, I want to come to this last because I don't want to complicate anything for anybody, right? This is your home page. Now, the place where you should really be living is right here in your digital learning platform, right? That's really and truly where you should be living. Now, based on the package that you have, you're going to be able to view the different academies, right? So in this case, Rosette has the founders package. So she has access to everything, right? But if you have the bronze package alone, you'll have access to either the financial literacy, the tool roll, the Airbnb, the metaverse, right? You'll have access to one of them, either or. If you have the silver package, you'll have access to 2 of these. If you have the gold package, you'll have access to 4. If you have the founders package, you have an additional one that they gave us, which we're very grateful for, because that was never in the plan in the first place. But when we got the founders package, you gave it to us. You'll also get the additional one, which is the digital marketing, right? And it's very simple. If you're going to view anything in the academy, right, all you simply have to do is click it. It's going to open up, and then you can start viewing video 1, right? So once you've viewed video 1, you're going to be able to see, I don't want to throw off anything for Rosette, right? So this is video 1. So once you've viewed video 1, you're going to be able to see, you can proceed to the next level by clicking complete, right? If you don't click complete, it will never, ever move on. You have to actually click it, and then it's going to go ahead and it's going to load the second video automatically when you click complete, right? So if you're ever looking at the videos and you're wondering, why is it not moving on to the second video? It's because you did not click complete. When you click complete, you will see that it automatically now loads the second video. When you load the second video and you're finished looking at it, then you will see mark complete. Once you've clicked mark complete, then it's now going to load the third video as well. Now, there's some people who experience few problems. And the reason for that is because they mark complete before the video is actually finished, right? So support has been very busy trying to fix problems that they should not have to fix. So what you want to do is not skip through videos like that, skip over the whole thing. Oh, let me hurry up and we can get to the end.
Welcome to,
right? But you want to let the video play. Just let it play right down to the end, right? And then click complete, because if you try to click complete before it's actually ended, you're gonna realize that it's not moving on. And then when you really do try to let it end, it still wouldn't move on because you messed it up. So we don't want that. We don't want support to be busy fixing things that they should not be busy fixing when they should be busy helping other people. So ensure that the video is finished. Then you want to go ahead and you want to click complete, right? And then it's going to allow you now to view the other video. You click complete, sorry. Going to allow you to view the other one. You get the point, right? Good. Now you're gonna be able, when you get to the last video, now I can't click this because I don't want to throw Rosette off because she's not finished looking at the rest. But when she's finished looking at this one, right? She's now gonna be able to move on to week 2. Now everything has a date, right? Then she's gonna be able to move on to week 3 and then week 4. Now everything has a date on it. And the reason for that is because we don't want you to just rush through the videos. That's why you're getting the videos by week. You might be like, oh, but I watched all these videos. Like I heard somebody say, I watched all these videos in one day, right? What's the point, right? Well, the point is that you didn't go to school in one day. And then when you went to school and you got all the information, you still have to go home and do homework. And chances are you didn't complete that book in a whole day. It probably took an entire term to complete that entire book. The reason why it's being done per week is because we learn differently, right? And the company wants to be able to give it to us in short segments, because you realize the videos are very short. They're like 2 minutes. They're like, how long is this? This one is like 2 minutes and 52 seconds, 5 minutes. I think the longest video I've seen thus far is 6 minutes, right? So the company is giving it to us in short bursts of information so that the average person can understand the information. And the average busy person can just watch one video a day. I don't care how busy you are, you have 5 minutes, you have 2 minutes and 52 seconds. You can look at a video this short. Like I hear people tell me, oh, I'm so busy, I can't want, really 2 minutes and 52 seconds? Not even while you're eating lunch, because that's what I do. When I'm eating lunch, I watch 2 videos, right? That's my time to watch my videos when I'm eating lunch. Some people do it in the afternoon. Some people, like I know Mr. Maxwell in the night, like late night, that's when he watches his videos, right? So you just have to pick the time that's suitable for you to just watch 2 videos or 1 video a day. Like you don't got 5 minutes, you don't got 2 minutes and 52 seconds to just watch a video, right? So you just have to be able to discipline yourself. That's the bottom line. If I paid for this, then I'm gonna do this. This is my set time to do it. That's that. If you got to put to sleep your kids or whatever the case is, it's when you get out of the shower, if it's early in the morning, whatever the case, it's short. 1 video a day per week, bam, that's it. That's all you need, right? So this is the reason why. So some of you may have asked, like, why is it per week and why are the sessions locked? It's to ensure that you do this properly and you're not rushing through the information thinking, well, oh, now I know all about financial literacy, I could go and invest my money, right? We want you to do it right and get it right. So the information is in short bursts of videos, that's one, and it's spread out throughout an entire week. So you have enough time to go through it, to go over it thoroughly and go from there, right? And that's basically how you become an expert at anything. You become an expert at anything because you're consistently learning the same information over and over and over and over. You don't become an expert overnight at anything. That's why we go to primary school and then secondary school and then college and then university. It's like how many years, right? So don't think that you're just going to hop on something and then magically you're just going to become an expert, right? The information is there so that we can keep relearning it. So that's the reason why it's by week. And that's the reason why the sessions are locked, just in case you guys were basically wondering, right? There's some worksheets in between there. You can download them and simply just fill out the worksheets and go from there, right? And the worksheets are for your use. And that's basically that. So like I said, I know everybody's got like, let me just go by there. I know everybody's got the different platforms, so you can take your time and go through it. The people who are doing Airbnb, I know a lot of them have been implementing what they've been learning and setting up their Airbnb to start making money. Some people have already started to make money from Airbnb. So for those of you who have Airbnb, because it's an active course, so to speak, right? It's not like the financial where you're literally learning. With the Airbnb, you can move. With the Turo, you can learn and move as well, right? Metaverse, a little bit more subtle, but you can do the exact same thing. For those of you who are business owners, I highly recommend the digital marketing. I'm living in this basically because it's going to turn your social media completely and totally different, like completely and totally different. And it's going to really change the way that you really see how to market, right? So those are basically your courses, and you're just taking your time to basically learn the information and implement it. That's it, right? If you're doing tour on Airbnb, you have the ability to implement in your first month. Once you're doing it properly, you have the ability to do that. Yeah. So so don't stick with the information and don't think, oh, I'm just here going through stuff. I'm just here going through stuff. Go through it properly, learn it properly so that you can get ahead properly, right? Trying to go back there. Hold on to homepage. Right, there we go. Right. So this is basically where you live, right? Your live sessions will all be here. This has to change back over to English. I have to tell her to send them a message. But if you have, I noticed one other person with this problem. It was just when the website opened, it loaded as Spanish, but you can just send them a message and let them know, support that your live sessions are in Spanish, and they will change that over to English if you have that problem as well. But all of the live sessions are right here, loaded and everything. You can go back and you can actually look at the videos and stuff like that. She doesn't have access to Spanish, so that's why that's happening. But you can go back and look at the live sessions. The live sessions are actually done on a Sunday. And the reason for that is because almost everybody's available on a Sunday, right? So from about after 7 or 7 o'clock, I think, like that in the morning, right? Throughout the day, there are live sessions for the different courses. If you're in church or whatever the case is, like I said, you can look back at the recordings when the recordings are loaded up, and you're good to go from there. So either you're on the live sessions or you can look back at the recording. Yours is in Spanish too, Kenton? Okay, so here's what you got to do. Do me a favor. Send support right here an email for me, please. Do it tonight, and copy your ID copy your ID so they know your ID, and let them know that your live sessions are in Spanish, and you're requesting that they change it over to English because you're English, obviously, right? So do that for me, please, tonight. I wish you told me that before, because we sent them some of this previous stuff and I could have included that. But you let them know for me, please. If you don't get back a response, what's today, Wednesday? If you don't get back a response at least by Friday, let me know. So send it tonight. If you don't get back a response by Friday end of the day, let me know, right? And let's see how we can quickly resolve that, right? Okay, so that's your digital, that's your live sessions. And let's now go to accounts. This is just sign out. The settings is where I really want to go, right? So in settings, you're basically gonna see your full account, basically, right? For those of you who want to edit your website is where people will go to basically sign up into your business, right? I know that for some people, when they got started, they really didn't bother to do this properly and put their proper name at the end because it looks business friendly. And you may have a bunch of numbers at the end, but you can go right here and edit it. And you can put in like your full name, right? Because it just looks more professional. Like you're sending somebody your registration link to sign up, and then they see just your name and a bunch of numbers, which is okay. But if you have your name at the end, it's easy to just go ahead and just edit it in your website and put in your full name, save it, and then you're good to go. It will automatically change on the home page. You'll be able to see it. Where is it? Okay, it's supposed to be there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, okay, well, never mind. It's supposed to be there somewhere anyway, but it's just easier when your name, and it looks more professional as well, right? Your marketing site, okay, same thing right there. All right, the billing, let's go to that just to make some of your lives a little easier. With regards to your billing, the card that is on file, it's a card you got signed up with, right? Now, for those of you who want to change your card, maybe you did a registration for somebody and you want to take off your card and put on back their card, or maybe they don't have a card at all and you use your card to sign them up, or maybe you have on a previous card and you want to change your card. You get the point, don't you? Right. So what you do is you can add a card, right? You add all the card information. And by now, you know, the card information is quite accurate. So you put in St. Vincent or whatever country, if it's Trinidad, whatever the case is. But how do you actually go ahead and change it? That's what I'm going to show you very quickly, right? So you add the card information here. But even after you add the card information here, let's say we added a new card right here, right? And you try to trash it. it's going to say, sorry, this payment method cannot be deleted because it's with your auto ship, right? This is a card you sign up with. There must be a card on file. It's with your auto ship. So the first thing you want to do is add the card, right? In your settings on the billing. Let's do that again. Billing will come up. You add the card that you want on file, right? By clicking add new card and you put in that card information, it will add to file. But here's the other thing you want to do. You want to go to orders, right? And you want to manage orders and shop right here. So when you click manage order and shop, you will be able to see that it takes you to the shop. And then you come here and you click those three little dots because this is your active subscription, right? This is your active subscription. Anything that you have active right now will be right here. See, anything that's canceled, you'll be able to see it right below here, right? And anything that you don't currently have will be in your shop, right? You can click the shop. And anything that you don't have. So like right now, Rosette does not have the Visionary Builder Kit. So she wants it, she just clicks it and she clicks continue. It will take her over to the payment page and she can go ahead and pay for it. So for those of you who want to upgrade to become a business builder eventually, that's how you will come to the shop, right? And you will go to the business owner kit. Again, don't worry, remember the prices it's in US, it's just reflected in TT, right? And click it, you continue payment, you continue to pay for your business builder kit, right? So like I was saying, so you want to change that. Oh, it works the same way. It works the same way. But let me come back to that, right? So if you want to just change the card, then you go to click the active subscription, you go to update payment, and you now click over to the new card number that you uploaded a while ago. Right? So that's why you have to add the card first, the new card, and then now you come over here, right? You come over here, you change it to the one that you just added, and then you click update payment, right? So you'll be seeing right below here, the second one that you just added. And you click the second one, and click update payment. And now it changed over your payment method to the new card that you added. Right? And that's it. That's literally it. Then now you can go back. Right? And I usually like to double check it. So I will go to orders. I go to view auto ship orders. And I look to see that it changed over to the new card. Right? And then now I go back to billing and I delete this card information. If it's mine that I did somebody transaction for, or whatever the case is, right? So I see people all the time asking, how do I do this? How do I do that? Very, very simple, very easy. So now the auto ship will be on the new card because you just change it over and you can go ahead and delete the old card. So for those of you who might be doing transactions for other people on behalf of other people, you always want to make sure you take your card off by doing exactly what I just did. Because if you don't, when it renews, it will pull the subscription from your card. Aha. You see what I'm saying? Right. So if you do that and you don't take off your card, when it renews, because your card is what is on the auto ship, it will pull the subscription from your card. So if it's one thing that you want to remember when you're doing whatchamacallit? Did my mind just go blank there? Yes, a little bit. Right. So one thing you want to remember when you do registration for other people is to delete your card from their account. Don't ever forget to do that ever, right? We had bad experiences before, so don't do that, right? So once you put on a new card, then you can go ahead and you can delete yours off file. Or like I said, if you have a card on and right now you want to use a different card, that's how you actually go ahead and you do that, right? So that's your billing there. Everything else is very easy. The downloads, the customer, the feedback, if you want to give feedback on anything, right? But with the order, you can view your auto ship so you can see what you have, what package you have with the company, what you were charged and stuff like that. You can view that there as well. And then now, just hold on. Right. And then you can also view your order history as well. Yeah. You can view your order history as well. So you can see what you paid for and when you paid for it. Yeah. And that's about it. I saw somebody asking something with the shop. What if you want to do what? You want to renew your subscription? It works the same way. For example, if your subscription is out tomorrow, but you didn't pay for your subscription tomorrow, but you're going to pay for it the next day, it will be in here, right? So all you got to do is you got to just come to the shop because it will be in the shop, because at that time, remember, like right now, it's not going to be in the shop because she has an active subscription, right? You can see the active subscription. But like, let's say that it expires today or tonight, right? And she doesn't pay for it, then it's not going to mark active subscription. Basically, I think it's going to turn a different color. So you'll be able to know that, right? Like her next renewal is on the 3rd, right? So let's say she doesn't renew, then she's going to be able to tell it's not renewed, right? She can go into the shop and she will be able to see that her subscription is in the shop. You go into the shop, you select it, and then that's it, right? That's it. You'll be able to get it like there, right? With regards to, by the way, the reward points, as you go through your videos, I forgot to mention that. As you go through your videos, you're gonna be able to collect reward points as a customer. Now, this only applies to people who are customers only. You're only a customer, meaning you're not a business builder. You're not referring people to the platform. You're not doing none of that stuff. You're not marketing the platform. You're only interested in being a customer, getting the information, implementing it, making your money by implementing the information. That's it. You're not interested in referring people to the platform. You're only a customer. See how many times I have to say that, right? So as you go through your videos, you're going to get reward points. I don't know how much reward points per video. Nobody knows. For anybody who might want to ask that, right? We don't know that. So, but as you go through the courses, the videos, you're going to get reward points, right? When you get your reward points, you're going to be able to see that your reward points shows up where? On the home page, right? Reward points will show up right here, right? I know some customers already have like 900 reward points and stuff like that. The reward points equate to money, right? So if your subscription is 130, then you can use 130 out of your reward points and pay for your subscription. If your subscription is 190, you can use your reward points and you would do that, right? Yes, it auto renews, but remember, our system is still a baby, right? That's why you always would see that updates are happening. Our system is still a baby. So if it doesn't auto renew, you can go ahead and you can renew it with your points if you want, right? If you want to do that. Yeah. So I haven't heard about the provision in the shopping carts yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll talk about it in the next coming days to use your reward points to pay for your subscription, right? So you'll be able to see your reward points here, and you'll be able to use those reward points and pay for your subscription. So if your subscription is $250 because you have found this package, you can use your reward points very easily and pay for your $250, because remember, the points equate to cash, right? So for the person like the customer in Grenada, he's 900 points already, right? And that's just from 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I think almost 3 weeks in, he had 900 points, right? So he now has enough points to pay subscription for like a couple of months there. So for those of you who might be saying, oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay this subscription, go through your courses. It's like airline points and Massey points, supermarket points. Go through your courses. That's the solution to your problem, right? This is the first company that I know where you don't have to fight to pay a subscription, and you don't have to refer 2 people to get a free for a month. This is the first company that I know of that says, hey, educate yourself and we'll pay your subscription for you. Well done, NVISIONU. Nobody should be complaining about any subscription. I don't even want to hear nobody tell me, oh, I can't pay my subscription. And I didn't know. Really, I'm posting it in the chat like almost every other day. How to cover your subscription, right? So this is the first company that I know of. I'm not saying there are other companies that might be doing it, but that I know of. I don't know any company anywhere who says, we'll educate you and we'll pay your subscription. So to get your subscription points, educate yourself. Go through the courses. You go through the courses, you get your reward points, use your reward points, you pay your subscription. And not a soul can complain and say that, oh, well, I didn't get enough points because you didn't go through your courses. That's it. That's the solution to your problem, right? Good. So I don't even want to hear anybody cry and tell me, nobody should say, I can't pay my subscription. The company is literally paying your subscription once you educate yourself. Story done, right? So your reward points will be here. You'll be able to use your reward points and cover your subscription. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to make orientation long because, like I said, the website is very simple. It's nothing complicated. It's just that there were 1 or 2 persons who had difficulty maneuvering. And I said every single Wednesday night at 8:10, once you have new customers, I'll be able to do this just to give them a simple walkthrough as to how you can go ahead and start utilizing your website. I can pay my subscription. Oh, right. Okay. So for the people who are business owners, this is not a business owner session. This is a customer session. But if you do decide to become a business owner, remember, paying your subscription is null and void from reward points. Let me say it like that, right? So if you decide to become a business builder, as far as the company is concerned, they're paying you. So pay your subscription, right? So if you decide to move from just being a customer and over to a business builder, remember, you no longer have access to reward points. Reward points are only for customers. Reward points do not apply to business builders, right? So if you're a business builder and you want to pay a subscription, you know, you got to put in that work so you can get paid, put aside your money to pay a subscription. The company can't give you the website for free and pay you at the same time. No, that not right. That not right. So the customers, you get it for free. The business owners get to work so you can handle your business, right? So that's about it, everybody. Good night. I hope this was helpful. I'll send out the recording as soon as I close this Zoom because I want to save the recording. I'll let you guys know in about 2 minutes when I open back the website. For those of you who want to become business builders, for those of you who are already business builders, I want to make that very simple and very short, especially for the newer set of persons, so you can go ahead and start handling your business, right? So I'm going to close this Zoom. Hope this was helpful. Going to load the recording and I will send it out. And I'm going to open the Zoom for the second one in about 2 minutes. Good night, everybody. God bless.